welcome to another Fight Night review. This one took place at the Apex Center, the UFC Apex in Enterprise, Nevada, United States, and it was the first fight of the main cards between Michael Johnson and Jamie Mullarkey. And as always, I'm going to try and go through it round by round and remember as much as I can remember and talk about as much as I can talk about. So let's see if I'm able to do that. So the round starts, and the two men don't really waste a lot of time at the beginning. It is mostly Mullarkey who is using his range and his reach to try and pick up Michael from afar. He's landing some really good shots from the outside. He's landing good leg kicks. He's landing good jabs. And Michael has amazing hand speed, and every time Mullarkey goes for something Michael is trying to counter, he's going for the body a lot, which I do appreciate. Michael is ripping his hooks to the body a lot and doing it really fast, but he keeps getting popped with the jab. And for the most part, it is quite a close round. Mullarkey is landing really good shots. Michael is countering quite well. It's not like he's not landing his own stuff either. He's landing some really good shots up top, but a big moment comes at about 3-4 minutes in. Might have been 3. Let's just go with 3. When Michael counters a body shot with some really good hands and lands like 3 vicious looking left hooks in a row and knocks Jamie down and jumps on him and lands some really good shots but isn't able to put him away. And they're eventually, I think they managed to get up of their own accord, and a few moments later, with about 40 seconds left in round 1, I want to say, Mullarkey lands a vicious 1-2 that knocks Michael down and follows up with a really good side back control position and lands some really good elbows to the side of the head, but Michael is able to recover, and they both get up again, and they're a bit more cautious after that point, but Mullarkey is still landing from the outside, and Michael is still throwing some really good speed as well. And with that being said, throughout round 1, that was the main story, Mullarkey using his range and jabbing and trying to set up with stuff, and Michael using his quickness. And round 1, very, very close, very exciting first round. I'm giving it to... round 1 is probably the closest round of the 3. I will spoiler mark that right now. But I might give it to Mullarkey. I just feel like he landed a little bit more as the round was going. And he was knocked down pretty badly, but he got knocked down of his own too. And Michael, even though he was throwing really fast hands, sorry for my constant swallowing, even though he did throw really fast hands, he didn't always land as cleanly as Jamie did. And Jamie, I think, did enough to tie up round 1, at least make it as close as it was. So I give round 1 slightly in favour to Jamie, but I could absolutely see this going either way. We then get to round 2, and it's actually a solid start for Michael again. He lands a really good combo that actually stuns Jamie a little bit, but then Jamie starts taking control. He's finding his range way better. He's following up the jab way better. He's landing good shots to the body. He's landing a really good body kick as well, which is something he doesn't utilise enough in this fight. He lands a good one too. He lands a really big right. And Michael is very much on the outside. He's not really engaging as much. He is trying to counter again with his quick hands, and he's ripping to the body when needed, but Jamie is just getting there a bit quicker. He's landing to the body a lot faster, landing a really good 1-2 to the body, and he does follow that up, and he stuns Michael and gets him into a clinch with a knee, and lands a beautiful combo punches on him, then follows up with a flying knee, and has Michael on his back against the cage. He has Michael's back against the cage and is just laying into him with some really good shots. Michael is suffering quite badly. He does shoot for a desperation takedown and briefly gets it, but Jamie is able to spin out of it pretty much right away, and they're both standing again, and Jamie is, again, just using his range to keep Michael at bay for... Michael at bay, get it? Because, anyway, he's using his range to keep Michael at bay, and just, yeah, really good utilization of it, and Michael isn't able to get in as much. He's very much more hesitant. He does get a really good shot at some point in round 2 as well. Jamie gets a really good head kick in round 2 too. But yeah, round 2, pretty much all Jamie Mullarkey. He did suffer a bit early, and it's not like Michael was completely hopeless. He was landing some really good counters, especially when they entered the clinch, but when they did enter the clinch, it was clear that Jamie was the superior fighter, especially with the knees he landed. It's, again, much like the body kicks, it's not something that Jamie goes for an awful lot in round 2, or even in this entire fight, but in round 2 it served him well, and what a combo that was. The clinch knee followed by all those punches, followed by a flying knee. Yeah, I give round 2 to Jamie. Very much more clear. We then get to round 3, and it's clear that both men are still quite tired, but they're still trying to put on a really good show, and they do ultimately succeed when it comes to round 3. Mullarkey is, again, using the jab quite well, but he's a bit slower, he's a bit more flat-footed, and Michael starts countering really well in round 3. Michael actually starts running away with round 3 quite early on. He's landing, again, he's utilising exam speed and is a bit more accurate with it in round 3. Accurate, I can't believe I said it that way. He lands some really good hook combos that do stun Jamie. Jamie does land a good couple of things that do hurt Michael pretty badly, but Michael is definitely the better looking man when it comes to it. He looks a bit more fresher going into round 3, and he looks quite fresh going throughout it. Even though he weathered a bad storm in round 2, he was still able to come back in round 3 and land some really good shots. He was hitting Jamie with some big stuff, and Jamie was also landing his own stuff too, but Michael was just more aware of it and landing more combos. I will admit round 3 a bit slower pace compared to the first 2 rounds, but it was still really, really fun to watch. And Michael is landing some amazing combos throughout it as well, but Jamie is trying his best to stay with him. He's landing that leg kick, but it's not landing as frequently as I think he wants it to. Michael is just there all day. He lands some really good counters. He's able to... He does go for another take... Actually, no. I tell her, like, Jamie goes for a takedown in round 3. Doesn't get it. Michael instantly sprawls because he's got really good wrestling, I guess you can tell. And, yeah, Jamie... Tries he might, he's a bit slower in the third and final round. And he's landing some good shots, credit to him. He still lands some amazing strikes here and there, but Michael is just landing more frequently. And then it gets to like a mad brawl within the last 20 seconds. They're both staying in the pocket, much like they had been throughout the rest of the fight, I will say. I did forget to mention that, but they try and stay in the pocket as much as they can. But in the last 20 seconds, they're both really going for it, just swinging at each other. And eventually the fight does reach its conclusion when the round ends, so that's the full 15 minutes that we get, and even though I didn't cover a whole lot of it, it was extremely entertaining, so I guess we gotta talk about it now. So Jamie would win by split decision, and I honestly could have seen this fight going either way based solely on round 1, right? Because Michael did get the initial bigger knockdown, but I think Jamie landed more strikes and he got a good knockdown in round 1 as well. You know, it's a round that could have gone either way, but I think Jamie did do enough in round 1. Round 2 was definitely Jamie's, and round 3 was definitely Michael's. But it's not like, you know, in round 2 it's not like Michael wasn't doing much, and in round 3 it's not like Jamie wasn't doing much. They were both still landing, just not at the clips that I think that they were expecting to keep going at. You know, and it was still a hell of a fight. I think this could be a top 10 contender, just amazing fight. Really good respect between the two, which is not something I expect often from Michael Johnson. He is known for being a bit of a piss taker, but he's damn funny, so I will give him credit for that. And you know, Jamie Mullarkey, hell of a talent. Coming from Australia, I like talents from there. You know, in case you couldn't tell from a lot of my music taste. Any Aussie bands I'm usually likely to give a high grade when I do those Music of the Week episodes that you should watch, maybe. I don't know. This fight was really good. I recommend you seek it out. Michael and Jamie both put on an amazing performance together. It was a really, really good fight. It is a bit of a shame that happened at the Apex. However, compared to a lot of Apex Fight of the Nights, this had some of my favourite reactions of an Apex Fight crowd, because they need to fill those with more capacity. I get that they can't have that many people there, but they need to find a way around that. And that'll about do it for this one. The next card is main evented by Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. And if that isn't the fight of the decade, I will eat my own face. Well, I won't do that. But I'm expecting it to be a great fight, because that's the main event. And it's the 25 minutes I'm going to be excited to talk about if it goes that long. God, Brian Ortega and Yair Rodriguez. Two of my favourite fighters in one of my favourite divisions. Two people who get Fight of the Nights on the reg together for the first time. Yes, please. I am looking forward to that. Next thing I'll see you for, though, tomorrow, the final part of the Dinosaur Jr. backtracking season finale and the end of the show itself. And on Tuesday night, the go-home show for the Golden Path tournament at Violent Delights. That's going to be a lot of fun. And next things for that, well, hopefully within the week I'll be able to get the Psychonauts Let's Play up. I'm still editing it, but I'm getting a lot more done. So, yeah, expect that whenever the hell that comes out. Even I don't know when that'll be, but it'll probably be within a couple of weeks. Maybe after the Golden Path tournament. Who can tell? And that'll about do it. I can't really think of much else to promote. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.